Right, so we've got this Bosch Max 7 back in. There's no drawer front at the minute. We fixed the leak. Looks like it. No drawer front, I haven't put the cover on the filter. Not yet anyway. So, reason why it was leaking actually was that was probably the reason why it was thrown out after I obviously plugged it in and went, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. It was actually leaking the entire time. Wow. Now that seems fine, doesn't it? But for some reason it's not strong enough. The clamp's not strong enough. So, and that was the clamp that attached from the hose to the dispenser container here. So unfortunately it came off and started leaking. Put a Jubilee clamp on instead, which is just as good if you tighten them up well. But Jubilee clamps can become a bit loose over time, possibly. But again, it could be another 5-10 years before that even happens. And by then, this will have other issues, so... Possibly. I'm going to say possibly because it is a Bosch. And I'm saying 10 years. Jubilee clamps can be forever, just... they end up with the same issue as this. They just become, well, loose. Just, I don't know whether it's the metal constantly maybe expanding and shrinking over on heat, say. I don't know. That's what metal does. Right, that one's fixed. Also, and I fixed another one. I've actually fixed the I say fixed the hot point condenser dryer. This one is TC8YL757. It wasn't completely drying, it wasn't sensing completely, and it was full of fluff. Simple as. Because of the condenser, it's all backed up. Yeah, they emptied the filter, but they hadn't emptied the condenser, and unfortunately all that fluff would end up inside the machine. And other specks of it on the wire from the sensor. The sensor sort of goes across there at the bottom, under there, and then there's a connector at the back behind it. Well, the fluff that goes inside the machine then landed on that wire and was causing... There's only a little bit of fluff, tiny bits, but it was causing it to then prematurely sense, unfortunately. With it all done, all hoovered it out, all put back together, the machine's definitely been... It's had its... what's the word? Recall done on it. It's got the pot rivet in the back. This is a pre-2015 one, but it's had its pot rivet put in. And clearly, whoever from Hotpoint did it clearly didn't care about putting the wires back in properly. So I've had to... It's a good job I did open it up, because one of the heater wires was rubbing against the belt because it hadn't been tied back. So I've put a little bit of electrical tape around it. It's not completely gone through, it's just taking off the outer plastic, luckily, not gone through the copper wires. Bit of electrical tape, fine, that's insulated. And then I've pulled all the wires back using some cable ties, which should have been used in the first place, away from the belt. But anyway, we're actually up and running and we're fully working now. It's good. It's good. The only other issue I didn't notice is, while saying it was unbalanced, didn't I? Well, what I didn't know until now is that because I've never had to level a dryer, I've never bothered looking under. But it doesn't have any adjustable feet. Instead, it's got 4 little prongs like that, plastic prongs built into the base, and one of them has snapped off. So I'm going to have to create some kind of foot at some point and put it on. I can actually level it by putting that bucket on that corner. It'll keep it upright, but I'll put this bush dryer on, not want to hoover out, and put it on the wrong side, so it pushed it back down again. But it works. Yeah, I've got space there. You can see, I will do a proper video, but I've got new shelving look. And my table. Let's have a look where that's coming from. About here. That's coming out inside the dryer. Is that exactly where that's coming from? That's coming from the drawer. For some reason, if your hot point leaks, there's one easy way just to solve the whole thing. And that's just to empty the drawer. I'm going to be honest, this new design is a bit poor. This new design is terrible. It enters from the front, not the back. Enters there rather than the back where it used to do, at the back here. And yeah, it's terrible. It is actually going back in and back down, so it does work. But for some reason it's not triggering the empty water tank. Right, so this is my new toy that we're just going to test out. I do know it works in the sense that it heats, and that's about it. So what we're going to do, we're going to select auto, normal, we're going to put load in, and then we're going to let it dry. Now apparently a normal load takes an hour and a half, but for what exactly? So now, you know, when we talk about these times normally, it's normally based on 1,000 RPM. However, I think these are married up with the MyTime, the MyPro Electrolux as well, which means that it's going to take into account the 1400 spin that they do. 1600. 1400, it says 1400, not 1400. There will be 1600. Test it out. Now it has a halfway button, but actually realistically all that does is half the time. In a weird way. So auto. There we go. Now I know it heats up, but that's it. Something's rubbing. That's at the front. That's a roller bearing. It's on the front, so it's either roller bearing or fan. Well, I doubt it's going to be a fan. I think it's going to be roller bearing. It works. It's quiet. Apart from the roller bearing, it's quiet. So let's see how long it takes anyway. So we're currently at 22:53. Cents. Not as bad when it's sped up. But it does show you that this actually has, with having an inverter motor on these dryers now, you can actually go as fast as slow as you want. So we'll see what happens. Right, so we're on cool down already. It's been an hour. So the whole thing's taken 70 minutes to do. It is. This definitely heats a lot higher than a normal dryer, a normal electric system. Right. Let's have a look at this. I bought this about 12 months ago, I think, actually, now. Let's see if it works. So I bought it in faith of good working order. So it's a Philco PA207. Fitted a plug to it because it looks like it was hardwired in, I think. So this is a Philco PA207. I didn't know this until I looked at the rating plate. It's 1200 spin. 1200! But as you can kind of see, there are options here that don't exist. Though I'm wondering whether that's. But that also being said, I've not seen any other Philcos posted anywhere, Philco machines that have all the bank of options. nicely there. Right, but you've already kind of seen a video of this, so this should fully work anyway, but we've gone a bit beyond what you actually need to do. I think I may have mentioned it before, can't really remember. But anyway, we added two, I don't know what Hoppen's been doing. It's like a weird experiment. They put this. Oh, I'll show you this one. Right, so you got a hole here and a here for roller bearings, and each roller bearing has like a shaft that goes into there. I think it's like a bolt shaft from that side, and then you screw on through a bolt through a bearing, a rubber roller bearing here. But then what they do, they remove this and that. These two were completely missing. Now they may have just broken off, but I couldn't find them in the bottom of the machine. Usually you can. So they were missing, and then the other two are on, but then there's no roller on this side. So they were put on, and then the rear teardrop bearing, there we go, that's the old one. And then you can see where it's worn, it's oval-like. Now that's early stages. May have been, was it squirrely beforehand? I can't really remember. So, but anyway, that's been replaced as well. There was a bit of a squeal when it first started, like a rattly squeal, but then I realised it was coming from the pump. Anyway, I'm gonna do some programs on this because, like, obviously we can film it properly. Right, I'm gonna have this dryer I've had for a while. It's fully working after I've replaced the stat and the rear bearing and the front pads. But there is a little bit of a leak at the back, and I'm not sure where, because I've just put the tissue underneath where the heater is, and it doesn't quite appear to be there. So what I'm going to do, take this load of washing out. The other thing I've also replaced is the top cradle which this sits in, because the old one, at some point in its previous life, the return pipe, so that's if it overfilled, where it returns it back down to the below, snapped, and they tried gluing it, and that didn't work. And then I tried re-gluing it, and that didn't work. So we've had to replace the entire lot with a spare. I'll just put half a load of towels in, so it does forever. Right, one reason why it may have been leaking water is because there's no condenser in this bottom. There we go. It does shut it up a bit. But I'm wondering now whether there was no condenser in the bottom the entire time I've been using it, because it's always been leaking. Right, let's see if this works. It's a Bosch Aquatech WFP3201. And it's really, 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 really mouldy. For two reasons. Number one, it was sat around 7 months with the door closed and water in the base. Number two, it was set to EasyCare 30. So yeah, it's been obviously used at 30 degrees with liquid. If you look at the inner door, the outer door seal bit, it's got pink on. Paint bacteria. Who knows what that is. And then if you look at the inside, underneath it, the whole entire seal is black. So I'm just going to put some DAS in with one towel. Let's see what happens. Now this is a Bosch Hydro Aquatech. I've still got the WFP 3200, and that's a hydro sensor. The only difference is that the on-off button is, and all the little markings, blue on this and the red on the hydro sensor. This spins at 1550 max, and that one spins at 1600 max, but they actually both spin at 1550. I wonder whether that motor is a little bit ropey though. But we'll see, 'cause sometimes heat can make it work again. Alright, a bit foamy. But we have heated up. Yeah, nicely. So, the heater's working. Just clean it up. That seems to be. You can hear the brushes. The motor bearings are not great on that. Oh, it worked. See the dry works. You know, the matching dryer. Okay, it's a WTA 3500. So it's vented over the condenser I used to have. There's one other thing I noticed very quickly with this. Go to the top here and look at the controls. Here we've got 4 timed drain, like so. Right. On the condenser, you had time drain, obviously warm heat, no heat, and then you had smoothing and something else, I can't remember, in those same sections. So those 2 extra programs, the Woolens hand care and the smoothing, have gone. Servicing, I think. Well, it's still very noisy. Still going. Still working. Oh, there is actually a display. It does work. I thought it didn't work actually for a second there, but it does work by those things. It's just very, very, you know, dim. And it's supposed to 30 seconds, it's just gone much worse. That's the fan, by the way. I don't know what's going on with that timer at all. Well, this dried perfectly fine. But it does need a really good damn service. And that display does need looking at. Let's have a look at this then. It's an Indesit. No, it's not. It's a Whirlpool. Whirlpool Commercial Laundry. Whirlpool Zen Commercial Laundry. NWG 812. We're going to see later on. Now, this is the first one of 4 I've got. We'll do 2 of them, and then the other 2 we'll do at a later point. Yeah, all 4 of these have come out of a student accommodation. 77 residents, and that's why I got rid of them, because they are just too impractical for 77 residences, and they've gone from that to Alliance circuit branded Alliance appliances now. So they've got proper Alliance 3 washers and dryers, Alliance washers and 400 volts 25 amp dryers now as well. So they had matching dryers, but the matching Whirlpool dryers have been scrapped. The washers weren't. 3 apparently working, 1 isn't. But they were all sold for spares, regardless. So yeah, let's have a look at all these. Alright, so the sort of housing manager says that this is the only one that was faulty. All the other 3 were working at the time. This one came up apparently with FO2, which would explain it. The door doesn't open, it's still locked. That's disgusting. Yeah, the filter's not blocked there, is it? It's the pumice. Oh, hello. Something just fell. Oh my. That was it. But if it works now. I mean, there is a sign on. This is the only one with a sign. It says, "Please make sure it's empty your pockets. And make sure there's nothing in the washing." Yeah. Bet that works now. Cool. Right. So I'm going to show. So we're going to test these 2 Whirlpools out. That we've got. Both of these come from a student halls. 73 student halls. There's another 2 Whirlpools up in my garage, so I'll be tossed another time. This one on the right had apparently an FO2 error. It was full of water. When I took it out, there was a little plastic thing in the pump, jamming the pump. That's now out, it should be working. This one, they were all sold as spares and repairs, and I bought the whole lot for 50 quid a piece. So, no idea. Obviously, that one's now, I presume, fixed. This one doesn't switch on at all. It's dead. So, I'm not sure what's going on. However, if you look on the back of that, where the main suppressor is, there's a piece of there's that around it, basically, holding it in. So, I don't know what's going on. Right. We'll test this one since it's on. So, obviously, this should work. Right. going to run it as is. Well, we're heating up anyway. proper boil now. All that up to top whack, it's working. That's odd, it sounds a bit like an active care. So this Whirlpool that I'm now on, this one, definitely been worked on at some point because it's not even got the right screws in. Yeah, it's got crosshead screws on the top rather than crosshead bolts. Let's see. Right, that's coming in. I think I found the problem. You see that? That's supposed to be plugged in to, the board. So let's see what happens. Right, that's plugged in. Will it turn on? Well, it's doing something. It looks like it's been... Oh, I see. That's odd. Look how quick the cycles are in comparison. Yeah, you put it on cotton, it's 2 hours 40. That's weird. What? What? Yeah, synthetics is now only 36 minutes. It's weird. It's going on. What's going on? That's odd because that mops and towels is slightly longer than that one. Question is, does it work? Checking something. Can't look at the door for some reason.